لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. This is As You Answer the Call. I am Rashida Abubakar, your regular anchor, welcoming you to another edition of the program. Consistent with its practice, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is putting in place arrangements to ensure that airlift operations for the 2024 Hajj is hitch-free. Part of this arrangement include the screening of airliners seeking to be shortlisted to airlift Nigerian pilgrims for the 2024 Hajj. Our Spotlight segment will focus on this process. Still on the program, we have other regular segments such as Making the Hajj and NAHCON News Diary, which highlight the activities of NAHCON and other stakeholders in the Hajj industry. And on the quiz, we shall announce the winner of last week's quiz and then post the question for this week. Keep watching.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The program kicks off with the News Diary. Top in the lineup, NAHCON chairman addresses Jama'atul Nasrul Islam Central Council Conference on preparations for the 2024 Hajj, and committee to review feeding and accommodation guidelines submit report. Stay tuned for these and more.
The chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, Malan Jalal Ahmed Arabi, has asked the Jama'atul Nasrul Islam to lend a hand in educating intending pilgrims on the new policies by Saudi Arabia on the conduct of the 2024 Hajj. This includes the new policy on visa issuance, among others.
Yes, it is true. We are doing the best we can.
The chairman made the plea on Monday during the annual council conference of the Jama'atul Nasrul Islam in Mina, Niger State.
Your Eminence, we will allow you rest. You have to assist. JNI has to assist in trying to enlighten the people as to the situation. It's not a deliberate policy to punish or to stop intended pilgrims from performing Hajj, but the realities of time has made it so difficult and prohibitive. But like we've always said, we have to work on the timeline so that those that have been called by Allah as His guests will be able to go if we meet the deadline.
The NAHCON boss speaks further on the imperatives of early remittance of Hajj fare to NAHCON account.
So by the time the monies are dropped into our accounts, we then again have to work another bureaucracy to get the monies translated to the dollar into the IBAN account in Saudi, and that's when we make the payments. But it would be difficult if we don't have the numbers, we won't have the money, and the Saudis will not open the portal for them to now know, okay, this is the exact number that is coming. And without that exactitude, we're bound to have some problems.
In his remarks at the occasion, His Eminence the Sultan of Sokoto and President General of the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, said the meeting is organized annually to discuss issues affecting Muslims in Nigeria and beyond.
We cannot develop without peace. And there's no peace and stability anywhere. We find that we are going to be in very deep troubles, economically, socially, and politically. And inshallah, I want to assure you that we will follow these issues up and other issues affecting Muslims and Islam so that we become stronger and more united and pursue our religious goals in peace and harmony.
Etsunupe and Vice President General of the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Dr. Yahya Abubakar, appeals to Muslims to project Islam in good light at all times.
It's compulsory for every Muslim to fasten his or her seatbelt to ginger every opportunity in hand and to mediate for Islam.
On his part, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Hajj Muhammad Idris, appreciated NAHCON chairman for his style of leadership at the Hajj House, saying the campaign to educate pilgrims on early Hajj fare payment is apt.
Thank you for the work that you do. You are only less than 2 months in office, and already you are establishing your mark as the chair of the National Hajj Commission. And thank you for that piece of advice that you have given so that our intending pilgrims could at least get to register very early for the next coming Hajj.
Meanwhile, the committee set up by NAHCON to review the operational guidelines for accommodation and feeding services submitted its report to the Commission on Wednesday this week.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much. While presenting the report, Chairman of the committee, Dr. Aliyu Tanku, highlighted some of the key recommendations contained in the report.
We said to abolish benchmarking of accommodation price in Mecca and Medina in order to allow market forces to determine the cost. 2, deal directly with owners of accommodation, in particular, to reduce cost of agency. 3, reduce the number of days spent in Medina to 5. That will also bring down the cost.
Responding, NAHCON Chairman Malan Jalal Ahmed Arabi thanked the committee members for a job well done, saying the review of the operational guidelines is to enable NAHCON serve Nigerian pilgrims in line with global best practices in Hajj management.
Will definitely contribute to an enhanced and more progressive and practical way of doing things. We'll look at the report and collectively, when I say collectively, I'm using the words advisedly. We may have instances of calling you back again and trying to get further explanation on some of the recommendations you've made before promulgation.
NAHCON has also reviewed operational guidelines for the national medical team, and it is also expected to do same to other Hajj committees. In other news, the 48 hours ultimatum given to tour operators by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, to provide evidence of alleged irregularities in slots allocation ends today. NAHCON took the decision on Wednesday following allegations making the rounds that the Commission is not transparent in its dealing with tour operators. In view of this, NAHCON challenged any tour operator to present evidences to buttress the claim. NAHCON said all allegations received will be investigated by an independent body. However, NAHCON warns that if the allegations are frivolous, there will be consequences. The Commission last week advised the over 100 companies it approved to take part in the 2024 Hajj operations to explore ways of merging. This, it said, will enable them arrive at the only 40 private companies allowed by Saudi Arabia to take part in this year's Hajj, as against its previous position of allowing only 10 companies. This came after officials of NAHCON and the Saudi Ministry for Hajj discussed and reviewed the matter.
Alhamdulillah, if you're just tuning in, the program is As You Answer the Call, a public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, and other Hajj-related matters. The airlift exercise is an indispensable aspect of Hajj operations. With preparations for the 2024 Hajj gathering momentum, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has started the screening of air carriers interested in taking part in the transportation of Nigerian pilgrims during the 2024 Hajj. Details of this in our Spotlight segment. Stay with us.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك.
This verification exercise marks the beginning of the screening of the different airliners that have shown interest to airlift Nigerian pilgrims during the 2024 Hajj operations. The screening exercise got underway at the conference hall of the Hajj House on Tuesday the 12th and will end on Monday the 18th of December 2023. At the occasion, NAHCON Acting Chairman Malam Jalal Ahmed Arabi unveiled the Air Carriers Screening and Aviation Monitoring Committee. The Commission Secretary Dr. Rabiu Abdullahi Kontagora chairs the committee in acting capacity. Present at the ceremony were members of the House Committee on Muslims, Pilgrims Affairs, led by the committee chairman, Honorable Jafaru Muhammad, and the Special Assistant to the President on Special Duties, Aminu Musa Amshi. The screening committee has members drawn from government aviation-related agencies and other key stakeholders. They are Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, Nigeria Airspace Management Agency, NEMA, and Accident Investigation Bureau, AIB. Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, and state representatives, and the FCT, among others. The committee is mandated to participate in the 2024 Hajj cargo carriers screening exercise, to inspect and assess the readiness of the airports being considered for the 2024 Hajj operations, monitor all outbound and inbound flights at all departure centers to check compliance with the airlift agreement and industry standards. Others include monitor compliance with 32 kilograms and 8 kilogram luggage policy by carriers and pilgrims. Monitor the quality of in-flight services as well as to take any action deemed necessary for the success of airlift operations. Speaking at the occasion, NAHCON Acting Chairman Malam Jalal Ahmed Arabi says the interest of the pilgrims must be the watchword in the course of the screening drill.
To some of you, if not most of you, that had participated in the past, we all appreciated the importance of this exercise. You had, in your individual capacity, tried your best to make sure that you put the interests of the pilgrims at the forefront, because they are what I call the center of gravity in the journey. That hasn't changed. That will not change. The welfare, the happiness of the pilgrims is what is paramount, and that is what we should continue to promote.
The NAHCON acting boss reiterated the commitment of NAHCON to address challenges that have been deviling airlift operations in Nigeria, noting that early commencement of the screening exercise will give room for adjustment before the airlift operations begin.
What is best for a system to thrive is when there is adequate and early planning in whatever you do. Yes, it is true. Yes, it is true that airlift is not likely to commence before May 2024, but we feel commencement now put us in a very good stead to plan well, to think proactively, so that along the line, if there are gray areas, we would have fashioned them out so that we are not caught napping.
Issues of safety was another important aspect of the screening that the NAHCON acting chairman harped on.
Certainly, safety cannot be compromised. And I know I don't need to overflog the issue. For the kind of industry that you represent, you know that that is paramount, is the key. And that is something that we keep our eye on as much as possible in the consideration of all the variables you can imagine. So I hope I'm speaking your minds and hearts that yes, that is one fundamental issue that can be compromised.
Acting chairman of the committee and secretary to NAHCON, Dr. Rabiu Abdullah Kontagora, has this to say on behalf of the members.
Inshallah, we will do to the best of our ability to ensure that we give you a very clean score sheet, a very clean result, which you will, without doubt, submit to the higher authority.
Making his remarks, Chairman, House Committee on Muslims, Pilgrims Affairs, Honorable Mohammed Jafar, said the committee will monitor the process to ensure that the best is offered to Nigerian pilgrims.
In terms of airlift, we need to have the best. You should know that we are going to be intervened with the entire committee this time around because of previous occurrence. What happened last at the other operation. We want to see by ourselves. We are going to supervise. We are going to scrutinize.
Special Assistant to the President on Special Duties, Aminu Amshi, says the Office of the Vice President, which supervises NAHCON, will support the committee to have a smooth screening exercise.
Nigerians are paying a premium payment and a premium price just to go for Hajj. So we'll also expect a premium service. We do not want anything that we'll later regret, so that the man in charge of safety here won't give you a tough time next time. So I wish you all the best, and you can count on the Vice President's support to ensure we have a hitch-free Hajj. And if there is anything, doors are always open for any advice and recommendations.
With the inauguration ceremony over, the committee swung into action, and it is expected to finish next Monday. The categories of the airlines being screened are for the airlift of pilgrims from states, airlift of pilgrims from tour operators, and those that will freight pilgrims' excess luggage.
MashaAllah, the program is As You Answer the Call. Coming up next is Making the Hajj. Tonight, Dr. Muhammad Kabir Adam continues the discussion on Umrah or Lesser Hajj, particularly on the lessons and benefit associated with it. Stay with us.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك.
Just like the Hajj, performing the Umrah or Lesser Hajj has a number of lessons which pilgrims are encouraged to imbibe.
The equality, all humans are equal before God.
On Making the Hajj tonight, Dr. Muhammad Kabir Adam explains more about the lessons.
One hadith made mention Al-Hajj Ramadan ila Ramadan wal-Umratu ila al-Umrah. Meaning between last year's Ramadan and this coming Ramadan, Allah will forgive. If you had Umrah last year, when you are opportune to have another one, Allah will forgive in between. The same as Hajj also. But there is special attachment to Umrah in Ramadan. There is one saying that says, Umrah in Ramadan is like performing Hajj together with Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So you can see it's very, very important. And when Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala mentioned the two at the same time, Hajj and Umrah, this means the reward is numerous.
Praying at the Kaaba in Mecca and the Prophet Masjid in Medina comes with special rewards, says Dr. Kabir Adam.
When you go to perform Umrah, at least you will pray in Haram. That prayer alone, Prophet ﷺ says, whoever pray once in that Haram, he will be given the prayer of 100,000 for somebody who pray outside the Haram. If you pray here in this mosque, you will be given one reward. While there, you will be given 100,000. The difference is clear.
Similarly, performing the Umrah symbolizes the unity among the Muslim Ummah.
It is giving us unity. Muslims are always united. That is why when they come for Umrah, thousands of them, sometimes even 1 million, they pray behind one Imam. One Imam, all of them. And you will surprise, over 1 million will be in the same place. One is reciting the Quran, one is doing this, one is doing that, but just one word make them to be united. That is istaw. When they had that, you can see within a blink of an eye, they are now ready in the rows. You have more than thousands of rows in Kaaba or in Medina, but you see them within a blink of an eye. They are ready. So one Imam will lead all of them, so we can have a real unity.
Also, oneness of Allah, patience, and equality are other important lessons embedded in performing the Umrah rites.
We will learn also the equality. The equality. All humans are equal before God. That is where you can see the black, the white, the red, the tall, the short, the huge, the giant, the slim, whatever kind, men and women, all of them are there. Nobody is thinking anything except God.
The Islamic scholar says every Muslim who has the means can perform Umrah repeatedly, but he offered this advice.
In a situation where you have the money for Umrah, but you have people around who are in dire need, you can sacrifice that your Umrah. Take the money and give it to them. For doing so, Allah will give you the reward of complete Umrah, acceptable Umrah. And you have the reward of feeding these needy ones. This is another area.
Dr. Muhammad Kabir Adam further called on intending pilgrims to learn more about Hajj and Umrah.
Alhamdulillah. Now it's time to know the winner of last week's quiz and the question for this week. Good luck.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, what are the 3 pillars of Umrah? The correct answer is 1. Ihram, 2. Tawaf, and 3. Sa'i. The winner is Sani Isa from Katsina State. He provided the answer ahead of others. Sani Isa will be contacted on how NAHCON will reach him with the prize he won. A quiz winner will get 25,000 Naira cash prize. This is part of NAHCON's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week, and the question is, mention 3 lessons embedded in performing Umrah. Again, mention 3 lessons embedded in performing Umrah. Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing.
Once again, good luck to you. Up next are your messages.
Suleiman from Kaduna State sent in the first message. It reads, I appreciate NAHCON for all its pilgrims' enlightenment efforts. I also thank the Commission for the 25,000 Naira cash prize. I have received mine. Sagir Ibrahim sent in a similar message. It says, Assalamu alaikum. I wish to express my gratitude to NAHCON and other stakeholders for its social intervention. May Allah reward you all with the best of His rewards.
This is where we draw the curtain on today's program. See you same time, same day next week with another edition of the program. But before we go, remember that you can send your messages, comments, observations, and questions through our mobile phone number and other social media platforms. Once again, thanks for watching. Ma'assalam.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا